Hello everyone, my name is Brooke Osborne and today I'll be presenting my cross-cultural analysis of Irish culture. This presentation explores Irish history, demographics, cultural values, and communication behaviors and how they influence interpersonal interaction and cultural identity today. Today I'll begin by explaining why I selected the Irish culture, followed by a brief historical overview and key demographic information. Then, I'll discuss cultural values and communication behaviors before concluding with an insight-based reflection and what I learned and how it applies to cross-cultural communication. I selected the Irish culture because of its deep historical roots in Celtic traditions and a strong global influence through migration and diaspora communities. The Irish culture is also highly visible in the United States, including regions like Wisconsin, where Irish American communities preserve these traditions. I was also drawn to how Ireland balances cultural tradition with modernization and globalization. Irish culture developed through early Celtic societies that emphasized oral traditions, kinship, and spiritual beliefs. Storytelling played a key role in preserving the cultural memory. Roman Catholicism later shaped education, governance, and family life. The Great Famine caused mass migration, especially to the United States, strengthening the Irish diaspora. Eventually, Ireland gained independence, forming the modern Irish state. Fun fact, Ireland is well known for its unusual and complicated history. For instance, the longest place in Ireland is Muckan Adhir Idahali. It's a pig-shaped march between two sea inlets. Try saying that 3 times fast in a row after having 3 pints of Guinness. And if you're still thirsty, maybe you can visit the Nakamavia Mountain in County Waterford, which means the Milk Hill Mountain. Ireland has a population of approximately 5.1 to 5.5 million people, with most of their residents living in urban areas such as Dublin, Cork, and Galway. The country has highly educated population with a strong participation in higher education. Ireland's economy is heavily driven by technology, pharmaceuticals, and healthcare industries. In the recent years, there has also been a noticeable increase in secularization and religious diversity. Irish culture reflects both collectivist and individualistic values. Family relationships and community bonds are very important, especially in these traditional contexts. At the same time, modern Irish society emphasizes personal independence, education, and career development. This creates a cultural balance between the social connection and the individual identity. Storytelling is one of the most defining features of the Irish culture. Historically rooted in oral tradition, storytelling has preserved history, identity, and Irish cultural values. Today, storytelling continues through literature, conversation, and humor. It remains a key part of social interaction and helps maintain cultural continuity across generations. Hospitality is an important cultural value in Ireland. Social interactions often include humor, friendliness, and informal conversations. Places like pubs and community spaces serve as important environments for these connections and storytelling. Building relationships is often prioritized over any strictly task-focused communication. Irish communication is often indirect and relational, meaning it frequently conveyed through tone, humor, and storytelling rather than strict indirect statements. Humor is especially important for building the connection and easing any tension in a conversation. Silence can also indicate reflection rather than disengagement, depending on the context of the conversation being had. One major difference between the Irish culture and a more task-oriented culture is the communication style. Irish communication prioritizes social connection and any indirect expressions. Being able to understand this humor and subtle cues is essential to avoid any misunderstandings. Developing cultural awareness helps improve cross-cultural communication effectiveness. Now I will play a video about Irish heritage in America.
Irish American Heritage Month is an entire month dedicated to the impact of Irish immigrants and how they have helped to shape American culture. It celebrates the rich history of Irish immigrants to the United States and how their customs and cultures have influenced our own. When is Irish American Heritage Month? Irish American Heritage Month always takes place in March to align with St. Patrick's Day, which is celebrated on March 17th. What is the history of Irish American Heritage Month? Since the formation of the United States in the 18th century, Irish immigration has been widespread. It's estimated that between 1850 and 1920, over 3 million Irish immigrants relocated to the United States, a number that has since doubled. Early Irish immigrants faced difficulties preserving their culture and had to fight against harmful stereotypes to be accepted in the United States. Slowly, over the late 19th and early 20th century, Irish culture began to merge with American culture, leading to a distinct subculture that became recognizable across the country. In the 1960s, John F. Kennedy was elected into office as the first Irish American president of the United States, helping to promote the identity of Irish Americans on a larger scale. In 1991, after an appeal was submitted to Congress to make Irish American heritage an important point of celebration, President George H.W. Bush signed a presidential proclamation issuing March as Irish American Heritage Month, a proclamation that has been signed annually by every president to date. How can I celebrate Irish American Heritage Month? We've got tons of ideas to help bring that shamrock style into your life. St. Patrick's Day celebrations have become a major event across the United States, with parades celebrating the history of Ireland and its people each March 17th. Learn an Irish jig and dance the day away. Test out some Irish American themed recipes, such as homemade shamrock shakes or yummy Irish soda bread. You can also plan a trip to the Irish American Heritage Center in Chicago, either in person or virtually. Take it one step further and research the life and career of a famous Irish American.
In conclusion, the Irish culture is shaped by a combination of historical traditions and modern globalization. Its identity remains strong through storytelling, hospitality, and social connection. Migration and historical events have helped spread Irish culture globally. Understanding this Irish culture highlights the importance of cultural awareness and effective communication. Below are my resources that I used to come up with these cultural analysis. Thank you.